Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right in to unpack the remarkable journey and, honestly, the tactical genius of one of football's absolute titans. We're looking at a guy who hasn't just mastered his position, he's totally redefined what we even expect from a modern goalkeeper. I'm so pumped to guide you through this because when you actually look at the hard data, the timeline, and the underlying tactics, you really start to see the architecture of a true sporting legend.
Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room right away. 66.8 million pounds. That's roughly 72.5 million euros. Back in the summer of 2018, when Liverpool agreed to pay this massive world record sum to Roma, a lot of pundits seriously paused. I mean, paying that kind of money for a goalkeeper? It was completely unprecedented. But as we're going to see by unpacking his journey, this investment essentially took a team of solid contenders and instantly transformed them into absolute champions.
And this quote right here, this brilliantly illustrates exactly why they paid that fee. Football experts universally praise him not just as a great player of his own generation, but literally as a generational talent across the entire history of the sport. Being explicitly cited by multiple sports publications as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time is a heavy, heavy crown to wear. But Alisson's incredible mix of raw athletic ability and just cold, calculated consistency makes him entirely worthy of it.
Section 1. The Making of a Champion.
Let's trace his rapid ascent. It is incredibly fast for a goalkeeper to reach the absolute pinnacle of the sport in such a short window. Just look at this timeline. He jumped from his senior Brazilian debut for Internacional in 2013 straight into a move to Italian club Roma in 2016. Then, just 2 years after that, he secured his blockbuster move to Anfield in 2018. We're talking just 5 years from his senior debut to becoming the single most expensive goalkeeper on the planet.
But you know what's really fascinating about his early years? His sheer grit. Success absolutely wasn't handed to him. In his early days at Internacional, he actually started as a backup to his own older brother, Muriel. Then, the very next year, he had to battle the absolute Brazilian legend Dida, who had just joined the club, for starting minutes. Alisson didn't just win that starting spot. He ended up leading Internacional to 4 straight state championships, racking up over 100 appearances before he even left South America.
And man, did that momentum translate when he broke through in Italy. 22, that is the insane number of clean sheets Alisson kept across Serie A and the Champions League during his explosive 2017-18 season at Roma. He didn't just participate in that squad, he dominated. He was absolutely key in taking Roma all the way to the Champions League semifinals. Get this, he didn't concede a single goal at their home stadium in Europe until they played his future club Liverpool. That specific season won him the Serie A Goalkeeper of the Year award and made him the most in-demand shot stopper alive.
Section 2. Conquering Europe with Liverpool.
So, the big question was always going to be, how seamlessly could he adapt to the uniquely physical, lightning-fast English game? Well, in his very first season, he casually racked up 21 clean sheets. That was the most by a Liverpool debutant since Pepe Reina back in 2006, and it instantly secured him the Golden Glove. But more importantly, he anchored the team to European glory. Remember that Champions League semi against Barcelona? He made a string of massive saves to help overturn a 3-0 first-leg deficit. Then, in the final against Tottenham, he made 8 saves for a 2-0 shutout, lifting his very first trophy with the club.
Okay, but here is where the story gets really wild. He's so much more than a shot stopper. Just listen to these attacking stats for a goalkeeper. In May 2021, Liverpool was desperately chasing a top 4 spot. Tied 1-1 against West Brom, 95th minute, Alisson actually comes up for a corner, meets Trent Alexander-Arnold's cross, and scores an unbelievable header. It was the first competitive goal by a keeper in Liverpool's entire 129-year history. Add in his 3 Premier League assists, including 2 famous ones to Mohamed Salah, and he literally holds the record for the most goal contributions by a keeper in Premier League history. Insane.
Section 3. Sweeper-Keeper Masterclass.
To really understand why he is so statistically dominant on both ends of the pitch, we need to slow down and deconstruct his specific playing style. Standing at a powerful 1.93 meters, you might expect a heavy, lumbering player. Instead, his game is famously agile, built purely on elite anticipation. Pundits constantly point out his supreme calmness in terrifying one-on-one situations. He just covers the goal effortlessly and reads the game so well that he doesn't even need to make flashy, camera-friendly dives. He stops shots with extreme efficiency and absolutely no histrionics. He is just always exactly where he needs to be.
He is the textbook embodiment of the sweeper-keeper role.
Alisson himself cites German legend Manuel Neuer as a massive inspiration for this style, along with Victor Valdez for his ability to play out from the back. Alisson frequently rushes way out of his penalty box to challenge for the ball with his feet, effectively becoming an 11th outfield player. And his distribution? Rapid and incredibly precise. He can launch instant counterattacks with these beautiful, long, accurate passes right to his forwards.
Which naturally leads us to ask a much larger tactical question. How does having a player like this fundamentally alter the way the 10 men in front of him play the game? It's not just about stopping goals anymore. It's about dictating the entire geometry of the pitch.
Well, here is your answer. Because of his exceptional speed off his line and his total reliability with the ball at his feet, his defenders can confidently push incredibly high up the pitch. They can compress the space, basically suffocating opponents in their own half. All because they know with absolute certainty that Alisson will sweep up any danger played into that massive space left behind them. He is the ultimate safety net that allows a highly aggressive tactical system to actually function.
Section 4. International Glory for Brazil.
Having mastered the club game and revolutionized his team's tactics, we now turn to how his elite skills translated to the grandest international stages. His career path perfectly captures this dual legacy. Think about it. It is incredibly rare to be the undisputed, unchallenged #1 for an elite European club like Liverpool, while simultaneously holding down the fort for the iconic yellow and blue of the Brazilian national team. He made his senior international debut back in 2015 and has been an absolute fixture at multiple World Cups and Copa America tournaments ever since. His crowning international achievement really came during the 2019 Copa America. Playing on home soil, the pressure was completely immense, but Alisson was practically an impenetrable wall. Over the course of 6 matches to win the title, he conceded just a single goal. And remarkably, that one goal wasn't even from open play. It was a penalty by Peru's Paulo Guerrero in the 3-1 final victory. Unsurprisingly, he walked away with the tournament's Best Goalkeeper award.
Section 5. A Legacy of Trophies.
Ultimately, when you put it all together, the tactical innovations, the domestic heroics, that crazy 95th minute header, the international clean sheets, it all culminates right here. His trophy cabinet just speaks for itself. For Liverpool, he's lifted the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup. For Brazil, the Copa America. But perhaps even more telling are the individual accolades. In 2019 alone, he was named the best FIFA goalkeeper and won the inaugural Yashin Trophy, literally cementing his status as the single best goalie in the world that year.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. We've seen the stats, the trophies, and the tactics. With every calm 1v1 save and every laser-accurate long pass, Alisson Becker continues to completely redefine what a goalkeeper can be. Considering how much he has modernized the position, allowing teams to play such high, aggressive lines, how long until Alisson's unique, dual-threat style becomes the absolute baseline requirement for anyone stepping into the goal? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.